Remember, in a shocking incident, a social media app listed Muslim women for auction. Photos of hundreds of Muslim women were uploaded on the Bully Buy app. Netizens and politicians expressed outrage. FIRs have been filed. Arrests have still not been made. What exactly is this Bully Buy case? Is our other top focus. Take a look.
Targeted harassment of Muslim women. A shameful incident with deep communal overtones. A social media app called Bully Buy listed Muslim women for what it called an auction. The perpetrators stole several photos of prominent women from their social media accounts, only to doctor and upload them, sparking outrage. The incident came to light when a woman journalist alleged that she's being targeted by an unidentified group on an app called Bully Buy.
पिछली बार भी एफआईआर्स दर्ज हुई थी। महिला आयोग जो है उसने इस बात का संज्ञान लिया था। पिछली बार भी यही सब चीज़ें हुई थी। पार्लियामेंट में मुद्दा उठा था, होम मिनिस्टर को लेटर्स लिखे गए थे, मगर उसके बावजूद कोई गिरफ्तारी नहीं हुई। और यही वजह है कि ये मामला दोबारा हमारे सामने इस तरह आया है। उस तरह से ये एक चैलेंज भी है स्टेट अथॉरिटीज़ के लिए, उन क्रिमिनल्स की तरफ से जो ये कह रहे हैं बार बार कि हम ये चीज़ें करते रहेंगे और आप हमारा जो है कुछ नहीं बिगाड़ पाएंगे।
Netizens followed suit to call out the app on social media platforms. Several opposition leaders condemned the incident and demanded action. AIMIM chief Asaduddin Owaisi and Sena MP Priyanka Chaturvedi lashed out at the IT ministry, alleging inaction.
मैंने आईटी मिनिस्टर को फिर से रिक्वेस्ट की है कि आप जब तक ऐसे लोगों को जो महिलाओं को इस तरीके से उनके बारे में बात करते हैं, टिप्पणियां करते हैं, उन पे कार्रवाई नहीं करेंगे तो ऐसी घटनाएं वापस होती रहेंगी। कुछ महिलाएं जो टारगेट हुई हैं वो मुंबई से होती हैं, तो मैंने मुंबई पुलिस कमिश्नर को भी इस बारे में कहा है। मुंबई पुलिस विल बी इन्वेस्टिगेटिंग इट।
एमएचए में जो काउंटर रेडिकलाइजेशन सेल है वो हरकत में आए। काउंटर रेडिकलाइजेशन सेल तो सिर्फ मुसलमानों के लिए इस्तेमाल होता, इनके लिए इस्तेमाल करें। आखिर कौन है ये लोग जितने रेडिकलाइज होकर देश के महिलाओं को, देश के बच्चियों को उनकी तस्वीर डालकर इस तरह से उनसे बर्ताव कर रहे हैं।
The Gandhis too attacked Prime Minister Modi in a tweet, calling out the communal hatred spewing in the country.
I stand by the victims of this heinous crime. We want justice for them. We want this outrageous menace to end. The culprits must be named and shamed.
Union Information Technology Minister Ashwini Vaishnaw responded, saying GitHub had blocked the portal and that the Indian Computer Emergency Response Team and the police are coordinating further action. Condemning the incident, Minority Affairs Minister Mukhtar Abbas Naqvi said the detailed probe is underway to trace the culprits.
सरकार ने संवेदनशीलता के साथ, सख्ती के साथ जो इस तरह की साइट थी उसको बिना समय गंवाए 10 मिनट के अंदर ब्लॉक किया। जैसी जानकारी आई, जो लोग हैं उनके खिलाफ कार्रवाई शुरू हो गई है और निश्चित तौर से इस तरह के जो साइबर साजिश के सिंडिकेट है उसके मास्टरमाइंड का भी पता लगेगा, उसके पीछे की मानसिकता और मकसद का भी पता लगेगा।
Meanwhile, the Delhi police wrote to Twitter seeking details of the user who first posted the content. They also directed the microblogging site to remove all related tweets. This is the second time that such an app has been created. In July last year, an app called Sulli Deals had similarly posted hundreds of images of Muslim women for online auction. With Arvind Oja, Bureau Report, India Today.
And in a moment, we'll be joined by Ismat Ara. She's a journalist with The Wire. She's one of the women who's been targeted by this online portal in this terrible manner. Rizwan Merchant, criminal lawyer, meanwhile, is joining me right at the very outset. Rizwan Merchant, I want to understand from you, what can the police do? As of now, FIRs are being filed on the grounds of promoting enmity between groups, section 153 1A, 354A, sexual harassment, 506 criminal intimidation, and of course under the IT Act as well, sending lascivious or lewd matter, section 67 and section 66. Do you believe the police has enough to act immediately? We are being told that one person is likely to be arrested shortly.
Well, you see, Rajdeep, the application of the relevant provisions of the Indian Penal Code along with the Information Technology Act have been appropriately applied to the FIR. But what needs to be seen is that the entire process of investigation, which is required to be followed after the registration of the FIR, in what way is our cyber cell going to be assisting the police department in investigating these offences which are committed in the virtual world?
Get on
You
the
see,
phone.
doing investigation in respect of simple offences under the Indian Penal Code, where seizures are required to be made, where investigation is supposed to be done on the basis of documents or recording of statements, is a different exercise. This is investigation into the dark world, the virtual world. It's not a very easy process. We have to see whether at all our cybercrime cell is appropriately equipped with the necessary infrastructure to probe into the virtual world and identify. You may be able to effect several arrests, but how are you going to connect the accused person with having committed that particular offense in the virtual world is most important.
No, so
If you are
no.
not
Are
going
you
to be
telling
able
me,
to
Mr.
connect
Mer-
them,
are you telling me,
will
Mr.
definitely take
Merchant, that
advantage of it
no,
and
no,
get
just a minute,
discharged.
sir. Are you telling me that someone can put these kind of photographs of women, and say that we are going to auction them, completely invade their privacy, pass the most sexually explicit messages about them, and it is almost impossible to get a successful prosecution?
You see, we don't have the necessary infrastructure available with the cybercrime to probe into such offences in the dark world, in the virtual world. We may be having created a cybercrime cell, but how many such cases have they been able to detect and lead to a conviction is an important question which I raised today here before you. The Sully deals which were there, when they were identified, what has happened about that? At that particular point of time, if the cybercrime cell had seriously taken up this issue, identified the perpetrators in the virtual world, brought them to book, tried them, got a conviction, take it to a special court, bring it to a genuine end. You just can't have an FIR registered and say, yes, we are investigating. We've arrested one, we've arrested two. The number of arrests is not important. The outcome of investigation, filing of a final report, conducting of the trial, appointment of a special court, and conviction is important to ensure that these disgusting things are stopped.
Can I just stop you for a
And
moment?
I
Because
personally
joining me
feel-
now
I
is
personally
Ismat Ara.
feel-
Ismat, joining me
Certainly.
now is Ismat Ara, senior journalist with The Wire. She was one of the women who was targeted. Ismat, you filed an FIR. Tell us, with the cybercrime cell of Delhi, seeking registration. Has the FIR been registered? And what were you told by the police?
Okay.
Yes, Ismat, did you file that FIR with the Delhi police, and what did the Delhi police tell you?
Yes, sir. I did go to the cyber cell of Delhi, Southeast Delhi Department of Delhi Police, and I wrote in my complaint about the larger issue that this has been for the over the past 6 months or 8 months. And after the complaint, the Delhi Police also registered a case the next day. And so far, we have received information that they are trying to get in touch with Twitter to get access to the username URLs, as well as GitHub in connection with the profiles that uploaded those pictures.
What I want to understand from you, when did you first know that your name had been put up like this? How did you find out? And did you receive any other messaging, any other explicit messaging?
So, sir, this happened on the 1st of January. Like all of us, I've also been through, collectively, we've all been through so much over the past 2 years because of the COVID-19 situation. So we were all trying to, collectively get out of it, maybe end this year on a note of hope. Similarly, so I was also planning to do that. But the next day I woke up, and as I was looking through messages, New Year wishes and messages from my friends, I realized that one of my friends message to me was not actually a New Year wish. It was a screenshot of me, of my picture in a very lewd context, in a very explicit context. And on top of it was written, your bully buy deal of the day. So that is the first time that I realized that my picture is on somewhere in this manner. And of course, it was shocking to me, but not shocking in a way that I wasn't, it was not unexpected. because something of this sort has happened 6 months before. There was a similar kind of social media outrage. Newspapers carried news about it. It was taken to the level of the parliament. The home minister, people wrote letters to the home minister. FIRs were filed. All of that happened, but despite all of that happening, there was no real constructive sort of closure to the case, or even let alone closure. There was no development in the case that we could fall back
did the
on
police,
and think.
Ismat, what did the police tell you again when you complained? What was the nature of the response?
So the nature of the response initially was, I would call it vague, because I wasn't sure if the FIR would be registered or not. But I was pleasantly surprised that they did take into account quite a few sections of the IPC that we wanted them to carry in the FIR. Even though they did not take all of them, but they did take most of the sections that we wanted in the complaint. And after that,
I also ask you?
I did not receive a call from the Delhi police. I did not receive any update from the Delhi police.
Right.
But next day I went to get access to my FIR, and that's when I saw that they have actually invoked sections which talk about religious-based crimes or discrimination. So that was a welcome.
Can I ask
because
you,
we have to acknowledge the fact that in this kind of targeting, it's mostly.
What is your predominant feeling today? That of anger, of a feeling of being violated?
So the word for it is the feeling of being dehumanized. And as far as feelings go, I feel like I haven't had time to actually sit with myself and actually feel about what is going on for the past few days with me. But I think most of all, I'm angry, because I am somebody who is out on the field a lot. I'm out on the ground a lot for my reporting. So for me, this also means I also go to a lot of rural places which do not probably have resources, access. At times, odd times, maybe sometimes at night. So my fear right now is that this thing that has happened on social media, it has all the chances, all the possibilities that it will convert into physical assault someday. You know, if these kind of images of me, my face, are circulated on social media, on WhatsApp, and how do I know that somebody will not look at it tomorrow when I'm on field and I'm reporting and come to me and attack me physically?
Okay.
Right. So I think that's what I'm feeling.
You're feeling dehumanized. There is a fear factor. There's anger. Rizwan Merchant, therefore, in conclusion, what would you advise an Ismat Ara? She's filed a FIR, but you're saying it's going to be very difficult to get a prosecution. We are told there's one arrest of someone from Bengaluru a short while ago. Mumbai police likely to announce the arrest. What would you advise, Mr. Merchant, to Ismat and the others?
Rajdeep, for the present state, the Information Technology Act, which is applied in this particular FIR, lacks the teeth to lead to a successful prosecution. When I say a successful prosecution, it would mean a prosecution which would lead to a conviction. I'm putting a question today to every cybercrime cell in this country. How many convictions have you got till today under the Information Technology Act? Please disclose to us. Not one conviction under the Information Technology Act. You do the investigation, you file the charge sheets, and ultimately, for lack of investigative material, accused persons are getting discharged. This is precisely where the system needs to step in. The executive needs to step in and give more teeth to the Information Technology Act. So these sort of offences should not only be tried summarily, but they should be taken to the special court. And for lack of material, nobody should be allowed to take advantage either in the form of a discharge or in the form of an acquittal. And I also expect our judicial system to step in.
Right.
Our honorable judges in the Supreme Court as well as in the High Court have got powers to suo moto treat such a case as a case where the lordships should take it up as a public interest litigation and give directions for investigation and monitor investigation to see that the investigation which is done is not only free, fair and honest, but that investigation should lead to filing of a final report which would lead to a conviction in such a case.
Let me leave it there. Those are strong words. I hope there is someone in our judiciary listening to them.
I'm being very honest and very candid. I have my own doubts on it.
Sure. Ismat, full solidarity with you and all the other women. This is unacceptable. And we will wait to see, based on the arrest that the Mumbai police, we are told, has made a short while ago, whether this case is cracked and actually leads to prosecution and conviction. For now, stay well, stay safe, and thank you very much for joining me on the show tonight.